When is the last time you evaluated your happiness? It's that time of year when we start thinking about spring cleaning our home, so why not our lives? I bet your New Year's motivation has worn off by now. And if you're anything like me, all you're thinking about is warm weather and how you want things to be fresh again. So I'm here to help you with a little direction. So many of us, especially women, especially mamas, set our lives on autopilot and forget to check in every once in a while. Today, we're gonna push pause on this habit and do a bit of deep cleaning in our own lives. For all the magical lifestyle tips, please be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. It would mean so much to me. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and then leave a comment below telling me what you like about it. I love personal development and growth. It is very high up on my life values list. I am a goal-oriented 30-day challenge list-making type A kind of gal. This means that during the course of a month, I tend to take stock of where I am against my goals pretty regularly. This is especially true at the beginning and end of a year. In January, I made a goal-setting video all about how to make your life on purpose. And since then, it's been my birthday, which is a start of a new year for me, so I wanted to do this check-in once again. I want to share with you some of the things that work for me when I am spring cleaning my life. And I hope that you take the time to do this for yourself and that it helps you too. Step number 1, I like to start with a physical space. I read a really interesting article a few years ago in the New York Times that corroborated the idea that our anxiety actually begins with the space around us, that there is a direct correlation between clutter in your space and your levels of stress. The good news here is that means we can do something about it. There is a reason that you feel calmer when your space is tidy. So I start by cleaning my home. And full disclosure, I no longer clean my home. It is the best gift I have ever given myself to have a house cleaner once a month. Her name is Alicia. She performs miracles and she saves me hours of time. So between her visits, I do my best to keep the house as clean as I can, but I'm always relieved to know that she's gonna come back. After my home is clean, I like to choose one area to focus on. Typically, this is an area that has bothered me. So I don't know if you're this type of person or not, but usually I have kind of areas of my home where I find them serene and calm. I'm thinking of like my bathtub with my essential oils and my face masks. And then I also have areas that have bothered me for years. Right now, it's all about Callie's art. I have hoarded 5 to 6 years of her artwork. We're gonna take 20 to 30 minutes and figure this out together. So this is the current situation. Callie and I separated all of her letter work from this year. For now, I'm just gonna go through and neaten up these piles and figure out what we are recycling, what we're keeping, and I will be using like a hanging file folder for now for her schoolwork, basically like what's important through the years. Okay, so this is the pile of all of her letter work from the past 2 years. So preschool last year and preschool this year. She still has Y to go. Oh, I'm sorry, she still has Z for this upcoming week, and then our letter work will be complete. So I know that as a parent, you kind of fall into one of two categories. You either hoard everything or you recycle everything. So I'm trying to find the balance. I've kept everything from basically ever, including her 3 years of daycare that she went to, which is this bin right here in the closet. So what I want to do is pick out 25 art pieces from the past 5 years to put in a book, like to have bound in a book. And then I'm going to use file folders to keep the rest. So basically what I'm going to do now is go through her artwork this year and then start working backwards to try to figure out what can be recycled and then what do we want to keep. If you have a lot of areas in your home that need organization or tidying, then this could be a multi-day process. Maybe you tackle it once a week. Set a timer, set a goal for yourself, and go for it. I promise that even if you don't finish this area, you are going to feel better with the progress you've made. This is the time, step one, to take care of your physical space. I like to think of this as me time. I put on my favorite podcasts. I put on a Spotify playlist that I don't get to listen to, pop in my wireless earbuds, and I get to work, and I think of it as me time. Step number 2. I believe that the happiness that I have found today is a direct result of the actions and habits I created 6 months, a year, 18 months ago. What could your life look like 6 months from today? In order to answer this, we need to do one of my very favorite things, journal. And I know that journaling can sound scary. This is a free-form exercise. I'm gonna walk you through some of my prompts. Don't be scared. In order to figure out where you're going, you need to know where you are. Cue Moana. I like to journal, and of course you do you, but I like to journal in thought bubbles. So I like to put my goal in the center, draw kind of a cloud around it, and then create little branches off of my goal for absolutely everything and anything that I think might be associated with that goal that I could do. Some of these ideas end up being wildly crazy, some of them feel redundant, and some of them are kind of light bulb moments if I go past that 3 to 5 minute mark where my brain has kind of released all of my initial ideas and I have to do some soul searching. One of my goals this year in 2021 is to build this channel to 1,000 subscribers. So you could help with that if you wanted to. In order to get there, I need to know where I am today so that I can backtrack that goal and figure out on a month-by-month basis what target should I be hitting. This is step like 2A/3. So if you're falling into the camp where you're saying, hey, Chels, I love that idea, but I have absolutely no idea what I want my goal to be, I got you covered. Instead of your thought bubble to start, we're going to make a bulleted list about what brings you joy. What makes you happy? What do you feel passionate about? And nothing is silly or stupid in this activity. If you feel joy about growing seedlings into plants, that's amazing, my little green thumb mama. Write it down. If you feel joy about reading a romance novel in the bath with a face mask on, girl, we should be friends. Write it down. Anything that brings you joy. It doesn't have to be what society says should bring you joy. You don't have to put your children on the list if you don't want to. Could it be learning new recipes, writing in a beautiful leather-bound notebook, singing at the top of your lungs with your windows down to 80s pop? Whatever brings you joy. Start with this list, the happy list. And then the goal should be to figure out how to get more of your happy list into your everyday life. So maybe you pick one. Is it an online class you could take? Is it something that you could build into the afternoons? Can you teach your kids to do it with you so that you can do it together? Which means that you're going to get more of that in your everyday. Tip number 4. What changes do you have to make in order for this to happen? These changes could be small. Maybe you have to save for it specifically. Maybe you have to carve out a certain amount of minutes in your day to get this. Do you have to wake up earlier? What can you do to make this happen? This goes in your journal too. Let's pause for a second. Can you tell me in the comments, what is a talent that you have that you just haven't explored in a really long time? I know you have one, and I'd love to know what it is. Now, sister, go get your calendar, your actual calendar, whether it's on paper, whether it's on your phone. Pause this video, go get the calendar. And let's review our joy list. Where can you actually do some of those things in your schedule? I want you to look. Do you have meetings? When are you at work? What time is being blocked out for dinner? Where is bedtime fitting? You need to organize your day so that we can fit in the joy things, the things that are going to get you to your goal. And just a spoiler alert, we already know that we can't possibly fit in all of the things that we are supposed to be doing. So let's not try. What can you cut out that brings you negative energy, that drains you of who you are, that you don't want to do and you don't have to do? Eliminate those things. What goes there? The joy list. We need to choose our priorities based on what brings us joy, what fills us up, what makes us happy. That sounds so logical, but we very rarely do it. Everything else is just secondary. Okay, we're gonna do some tough love situation. Are you ready? This one can be uncomfortable to talk about, but it's money. When is the last time that you honestly looked at your finances? I mean, really looked at where you are, where you're spending, and where you're saving. Now, this is not a video to tell you that everything needs to be saved. I am a spender, a proud spender. And when I learned that a budget is just a spending plan, first of all, thank you to Tasha and Joseph Cochran for teaching me this. I'm gonna link One Big Happy Life below. She was my business and financial coach for quite some time, and she changed my life. So I'm just gonna leave her info below. You should certainly check her out. When I made that mindset shift about what a budget is, my life changed. I used to be so scared of money, and I came at it in a very scarcity mindset that I never had enough, that there were always things to pay for, that I couldn't spend based on my priorities. And then when I took a closer look at my budget, I realized that I made more than I thought I did. I had room to play in my budget, and now I can save for things that are actually priorities for my life. Being happy with your money and what it can do for you will change the course of your life. It's perhaps the most magical mindset shift that you can make. You know that I'm on a health journey, right? If you've been here for any length of time, I have talked about this. So sprucing up my meals and my snacks is a huge part of how I spring clean in order to take care of this newer body that I have. In fact, I'm in the midst of a water challenge right now for April, where I'm trying to drink half my body weight in water every single day. Do you want to join me in this water challenge? Please follow along on Instagram, and then you'll see more of it in the stories, and we can talk to each other and become real life water buddies. I tend to revisit what I'm eating on a quarterly basis, and this is an awesome time to rededicate yourself to health because of the season that we're in. Spring and summer are amazing produce seasons, amazing seafood seasons, so you really can get more options, fresh options in these seasons than in others. So if you haven't given this any consideration, it might be a great time to try. One of my best spring cleaning your life tips is to make yourself a playlist using Apple Music or Spotify, whatever floats your boat. Make yourself a playlist of the energy you want to feel and you want to have, or at least find a playlist for you. I like to listen to productivity playlists when I'm working. I have like a calm down playlist, but my favorite one is when I look for other people's pump up playlists. Those really get me going, especially like Demi Lovato, Taylor Swift, old school Britney. Mix that in with a little Hamilton and Disney, your girl is on fire. You just want these songs to make you feel strong, beautiful, and empowered, because you are all of those things. Now, my last tip here. This is the reward. You have made it through the other 8 steps in this spring cleaning, and it's time to treat yourself. The catch is here that you just have to do the work first, and that might take you a week, 3 weeks, all spring long. It doesn't matter what the timeline is. But at the end of all of this work, when everything's in order, you deserve something. Whether it's something for your home, like a candle, a piece of furniture, maybe you repaint a room, whether it is something, a gadget that you've been after, maybe it's a new book, or it's something for you. Do you need a new pair of shoes, a new lip gloss, a fresh haircut? Whatever it is you need, this is the time to get it for yourself because you've earned it and you deserve it. If you've made it this far, thank you for being here. If you want more tips on my weight loss journey, I will leave the playlist up here. I'll also put it in the description box below. If you're looking for a little bit of a weight loss health journey inspiration. Is there a tip in this video that you would like me to go more in depth on? If so, please give it a thumbs up. Please let me know in the comments below, and then I can elaborate just on that one piece just for you. Thank you so much for being here. I think you're amazing. I love you, and we will see you next week. Bye.